Hey guys, this is NonLammers of Invoked 101. Welcome back. I know it's been quite some time since I uploaded. I've been pretty busy and just haven't really had the time. On top of that, we also lost our internet connection for a while, so but now that we got it back, I figured I would finally upload that Dark World deck profile that I was talking about in all those community posts. Q&A coming up soon. We also have some other stuff coming up, such as Thunder Dragons are in here. We also have Noble Knights and Fur Hire and all these other decks that I now have thanks to my buddy JB. So anyways, before we get into the deck profile, down in the description is a link to our Patreon if you feel like supporting us on there. And then also there is a link to our Teespring down there, and I do believe there is a link to our Discord, but I think that one doesn't work anymore. So I will have to fix that. But hopefully that will be fixed by the time this video goes up. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to set these spells and traps off to the side, and we're going to get right into the Dark World deck. So to start us off, of course, we have double Grapha. Grapha is one of the most important cards in the deck. So the gimmick of Dark Worlds is that they all get effects off of being discarded by a card effect. Not for cost, but for card effect. So Grapha's effect is you can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning a face-up Dark World monster you control to the hand, except Grapha. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. Then, if this card was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by opponent's card effect, look at one random card in your opponent's hand. Then, if it was a monster, you can special summon it to your side of the field. So that's pretty cool. Being able to steal a monster out of your opponent's hand and destroy a card on the field is pretty nice. After that, we have one of the most important cards and arguably the most expensive card in the deck, Lucent Netherlord. So there's a few different lords of the deck. There is the Netherlord, the Warlord, and the Woo Lord. And all of them share the effect of if they're discarded by a card effect, you get to special summon them to your side of the board. But then they all have a bonus effect that is different from each other when they're discarded by opponent's card effect. So it says, so discarded the graveyard, special summon it from the graveyard, and then it says, then if this card was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can special summon one fiend-type monster from your deck to either side of the board. And I'll explain why that's really good when I get to the card that interacts with that. So other than, just special summoning whatever fiend-type monster you want from the deck to your side, there's another card in here that works by being special over to your opponent's side. Then we have Double Silva, Warlord of the Dark World, and his bonus effect, aside from being special summoned, is if this card is discarded by opponent's card effect, your opponent returns exactly 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of their deck in any order. So he gets to rip stuff out of your opponent's hand. And lastly, we have Gold, Woo Lord of the Dark World. The reason I have so many, you'll see this as I go through, I have some really old, shiny ones. There's a couple different Dark World cards in here. Big shout out to James Gray for hooking me up with those. This has the effect of special summoning itself, and then it says if this card is discarded from the hand to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can target 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field and destroy them. So very cool. So one pops 2, one spins 2. It forces your opponent to discard 2, and then this one special summons 1. But Lucent is fantastic, and that's it for the Lords of the Dark World. Then we have the other most important card, and one of the cards with the craziest wording ever. Snow, Unlight of the Dark World. So Snow has really awkward wording on her. So her effect is, if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, add a Dark World card from your deck to your hand, then special summon that target, if any, in face-up defense position. So how she works is if this card is discarded by a card effect, you get to add one Dark World card from your deck to the hand. But if it was discarded from your hand by opponent's card effect, you get to do both and target a opponent's monster in their graveyard and special summon it. And search a Dark World card. So that's how she works. I know it's really confusing on the wording part, but there we go. And then we have Triple Brow, got my one ulti Brow. And then it says, if this card is discarded from the hand to the graveyard by card effect, draw one card. Then if it was discarded by opponent's card effect, draw another card. So pretty cool. Just a quick little draw thing right there. Then we have Double Beige, and Beige has the very simple effect of if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon it. So Very nice on Beige's part. And then we have the card I was talking about with Lucent, Ceruli, Guru of the Dark World. And it seems that anytime Konami slaps the word Guru on a card, it ends up being pretty good. So Ceruli has a pretty awesome effect. It says, if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon this card from the graveyard to your opponent's side of the field in face-up defense position. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dark World card, your opponent must discard one card. So how this works is when he's on your opponent's side of the board, so he special summons himself to the opponent's side of the board, and then he forces the Dark World player, because you're the one who gave him this card, it forces the Dark World player to discard a card. Because it's on your opponent's side, it counts as being discarded by opponent's card effect. Very, very cool right here. And that's it for the Dark World stuff that we're playing. So then, of course, because Dark Worlds are so fantastic on their own, we of course have to play Danger. So I'm playing one Snake because I only have one Snake. I'm playing 2 Jackalope because it's at 2. I would play a second Snake and I would play 2 Nessie, but I don't have a second Snake or 2 Nessie. But I also don't necessarily, I haven't had any real issues with playing them like this so far. So I'm playing triple Mothman. So this one's like a Dark World Dealings, which is the main reason I wanted to play this one, because it works like another Dark World card. And then we have 1 Thunderbird and 1 Bigfoot. So I would definitely add a second Snake. I would definitely add and then 2 Nessie, and I would probably cut these 2 for like the second Snake, and then these 2 for the 2 Nessie. So I would play 2 Jack, 2 Snake, 2 Nessie, and then 2 Mothman. So there we go. That's it for the Danger stuff. I know not everyone wants to see the Danger stuff. If you want to see a Danger free build, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll work up a Danger free build. Moving into the spells and traps, we have triple Allure of Darkness because the whole deck is dark, so might as well use the best draw card in the game. Then we have triple Dark World Dealings. This card is insane in this deck, letting you draw and discard for free. Then we have triple Gates of the Dark World. This card is also pretty cool. So Gates of the Dark World says all Fiend type monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Fiend type monster from your graveyard, discard a Fiend, then draw a card. So it's not a hard once per turn. So you can just activate multiple Gates in 1 turn, and that's probably the best part about this card. So you can effectively just burn through your deck and get multiple draws and effects, especially if you keep drawing into Lords. We got 1 Terraforming to search that. 1 card destruction to not only wipe out our opponent's hand, but also trigger our Dark World effects. And then we have triple Drag Down by the Grave. This card is another really good card, and its effect is both players reveal their hands. Each chooses 1 card from their opponent's hand. Then you discard the chosen cards from both players' hands, and both players draw 1 card. Very cool, very useful. And so that's it for the spells. Then for the traps, to go alongside our drag downs, we have double Mind Crush. This is mostly because we're going to be looking at our opponent's hand anyway, so now we can Mind Crush whatever we saw in there if we saw something good. Then I'm playing double Epidemic Eradicator, or Eradicator Epidemic, sorry. This card is awesome. It's a blowout against a lot of decks. If you resolve this, I was playing against Dark Magician and I called Traps and I blew them out. I was playing against Sky Striker and I called out Spell and they had to scoop because they couldn't do anything. It's an amazing card. And then we have 2 Dark Smog. So I know not a lot of Dark World decks are playing this right now, but I felt that this card was too good to pass up. So this card's effect is once per turn, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, discard a Fiend, and if you do, banish that target. So very cool, kind of like a pseudo Called by the Grave, except without the negate, which kind of sucks. But being able to rip a card out of your opponent's graveyard is very nice. And then we have 1 Dark World Brainwashing. So this card I didn't feel was super great. The reason I'm playing it only at 1 is because it is searchable with Snow, and Snow isn't a hard once per turn. So it says, when an opponent's monster activates its effect, if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, except during damage step, you can target a Dark World monster on the field, return it to the hand, and if you do, the activated effect becomes discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. So it's not super great, but it is good enough that I felt like playing it. Alright, after that we do have the extra deck, because we do have an extra deck. It's not as full up as I'd like it to be, but it is enough that I felt it worth playing. So I'm playing 1 Spaceway Octa Bypass to attack directly, 1 Castel to spin stuff, and then for links I'm playing Link Kuriboh because there's a link. There is a level 1 in the deck. I'm playing Wee Witch because the whole deck is dark. I'm playing Master King because everything is a Fiend. I'm playing Security Dragon just to bounce stuff. Zero Boros, because I had a spare Zero Boros, and a Boral Sword, because this deck can actually spit out Link 4s pretty quickly, so I felt that the Boral Sword was a nice little piece of extra damage to have. Anyways, that is actually it for my Dark World deck profile. If you guys want to see that, the danger-free version, leave that down in the comments below. I will get that up and out for you. And if you want to see the Noble Knight deck, the Thunder Dragon deck, which is almost done, I should have that done by Saturday, leave all that stuff down in the comments. Tell me what you guys want to see next, because I have a ton of stuff that I would love to show off for you guys. There's Buster Blader, there's Blackluster Soldier, which I got to tinker with just a little bit to get them back into working order. I got a new Neos build that I've been messing around with. I got this Fur Hire deck. But yeah, just tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.